Yeah, good day everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will be teaching you guys the easiest way to secure a grant or loan from government or from a friend or from the bank or from NGOs using the power of cash flow projection. In a short moment I will show you on Excel the easiest way to compute an effective cash flow. You package it with your proposal and submit it to the bank or to the government or your lender. You will be able to convince your lender that you can comfortably manage any cash within your business and be able to repay on time using the power of cash flow. So we'll be looking at what is cash flow. Cash flow is the amount of money going in and out of your business, and we understand that a good cash flow statement can give you an idea of your business current financial health, and sadly a poor or negative cash flow can spell doom for the future of your business. So why cash flow? Why do we need cash flow? One, cash flow helps to predict shortage and surpluses in a business where you have shortage of cash or surplus of cash. It can also be used to compare business expenses and income for a period. You want to know what is my expenses in a particular period and what are my income. And thirdly, can be used to estimate effect of business change. Maybe probably you hired an employee and you want to know, can I be able to pay this employee? Or you bought a machine, so what is the effects of regards to cash? How do you know that if I pay this employee $1,200 that I will be able, it won't affect my business? So cash flow will be able to review all of those data. And fourthly, you can also prove to your lenders your ability to repay on time. This is a major reason why the bank want to give you this money, or is a proof that yes, I can repay with my cash flow. It is not negative. My cash flow at the end of the period is not. So that is just what they want. Can you be able to repay on time? So, and finally, it helps to determine where you need to make adjustments. And so let us move ahead to calculate. How do we calculate cash flow? Find out your business cash for the beginning of the period. You need to know what am I. You meet your accountant, give me an estimate. What are my business? What are my opening balance? How much do I have in a particular time? Then secondly, you need to estimate incoming cash for the next period. All of my sales within the period. All of my sales, what are their total value, the loans that I need and other services that I render to people. You need to estimate them over a period of time, probably 6 months or 1 year, preferably probably 1 year. And third, estimate expenses for the next period, all the raw materials, all the utilities, all the rents, insurances, and all other things. Purchase of raw materials, inventory. You need to estimate their expenses for a particular period. Fourth, then subtract the estimated expenses from the income. So like you rightfully see here, all the income, you subtract the estimated expenses from it. And finally, add the cash flow to opening balance. Use the projected cash flow as your opening balance. Let's go right away to Excel and let me show you how to do a very simple basic cash flow. You package it alongside your proposal and give it to the bank or the government. I bet you it can go a long way to help you secure the grant or the loan you're looking for. Let's go over to Excel. Thank you. Alright, welcome back good people. So we are going to be projecting for 1 year cash flow projection for $200,000. Here we have our cash inflow just by the left. Alright, it is very important that you itemize all the source of your revenue. Yeah, but before then we have our opening balance, which is usually zero, and the initial capital, which is the amount you've gathered for yourself before you go for the loan. Then we assume here that our loan is going to be 3 years repayment plan with 4 months moratorium. That's very fantastic. Then sales from imported goods, sales from chocolates, income from services and others. So this row here, this column here, will represent all your income, yeah, for the period. Then you now sum your total inflow. Then under expenditure, we have importation of goods. We assume 74% of $200,000, yeah, which is $148,000. That's what we are going to be budgeting for importation of goods. Then for raw materials, for chocolates, 20%, which is 40,000. Advertisement 1%, admin and operational cost 2%, employee salaries 2%, others. Then here, kindly pay attention here, principal repayment. So we have $5,278,000 per month, and interest repayment is 10%, which is $528 per month. Then our closing balance. So our initial balance is usually zero, and we sum here all inflow, total inflow, yeah, which is going to be my initial capital to others. I'm going to sum it. Then my total expenditure, which is going to be from importation down to interest repayment. Then closing balance, kindly pay attention here, you have equal to my opening balance plus my total inflow minus my total expenditure. So this will give me my closing balance. Alright, so my angle grabber down to this. Alright, my total expenditure, my total inflow. Alright, my total expenditure, alright. So naturally you understand with me that I believe we all know how to add the dollar sign and all the rest, but if you don't, I'm gonna quickly just show you. Just highlight a portion and just put the dollar sign or euro or whatever sign you want, and that's it. Alright, so my initial balance, opening balance is zero. My initial capital, here we assume my initial capital to be $10,000. Alright, then I am looking for $190,000 loan. Alright, so my total inflow for the beginning is $200,000, while my closing balance is $200,000. Kindly pay attention here. We don't have anything in our expenditure because we've not started spending the money. Alright, let us start our projection as quickly as possible, looking at what we have mapped out as our budget for each of the items that we are purchasing. So it is very important to start from revenue if you are doing your projection, so that you can be very much accurate. Alright, here I am going to be spending $148,000 in importation of goods. So I know from my previous analysis, I know how much I should be making. But since this is a new business, so I believe I may not be able to make all of the money that I put on the first month. So I am going to be projecting $147,000, $148,000. Yeah, second month probably I didn't make much. Then on the third month I have $152,000, $152,000. Then on the third month $158,000, 158. Okay, let's say $162,000, $162,000. Sorry, $162,000. All right, so I'm going to be projecting this way. So highlight the four. Probably on the first month, $39,000 plus probably $40,000. On the third month, $42,000 and $44,000. Alright, so I'm going to be projecting it this way. Okay, so alright, so income from services, assuming there are some services you render like IT services or so, probably you make about, let's say, $3,000 per month on the services that you render. So we are going to be projecting it this way. That's fantastic. All right, so then others, maybe other services, $100. All right, that's good. Now, considering our expenditures, so yeah, we omitted something. Let me quickly add it up. Please don't forget that your next month opening balance is usually the closing balance of the previous month. So watch me very closely. Equal to, then which is the closing balance of this month. Enter. All right, so that's very important. So you see, increase this a little bit, 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 increase this a little bit. All right, so coming to my expenditure, I need to be very, very careful. Any assumptions you make, you need to back it up with comments, so that let the bank knows why am I spending this money. That's very, very important. Then you need to consider seasonal fluctuations. This is a cash flow for someone who does importation of goods, so you should consider forex exchange fluctuation in forex exchange, customer late repayment, all these things you need to consider. Emergency situations, so you should have your contingency plan and be conservative and realistic in your projection. All right, so here I have $148,000 to spend. So on the first month, probably I spent $146,000. All right. right? So then second month, $148,000, $150,000, $152,000. All right, so I'm going to be projecting this way. All right, fantastic. Okay, so expenditure for the raw material for chocolate. Okay, so I can spend $38,000 on the first month, $40,000 on the second month. All right, $42,000 and $44,000. So projecting it this way. All right, we need to look very closely here so that we don't. Now look at it. I can't spend exactly how much I am making here, so I need to. This is 146, this is 148. So let's assume I spend 148 on this period, then $151,000, $152,000. So here we go. All right, just to wrap it up here. Okay, that's fantastic. Advertisement. Probably on my first month I did my website for $500, then the rest of the months my advertisement on ads and websites and other stuffs like that. So is all right. Probably sometimes I could spend a few occasions like that. All right, so probably okay. Admin operational cost. So it is good that I indicate here, right click, go to comment. This is for my website design. So it's very important that you indicate that. All right, so subsequent months you can right click and yeah, this is for running probably Google ads, and probably Facebook ads. Okay, like so. Fantastic. All right, admin stroke operational cost. Yeah, this is for probably rent, transportation, clearance, custom, office stationery, utilities, and all the rest. So I will be leaving them the way they are, $4,000. Then $4,000. Employee, same thing. This is your salary you pay to your staff. So per month you spend $4,000 in salary. All right, so like we said previously, this is you are lucky to have a 4 months moratorium on your repayment plan. So first month is 0 on the principal repayments, and interest repayment is also 0. So I'm going to highlight both of them, and here we go. Sorry, it is going to be for 1, 2, 4 months. Then on the 5th month, that is when you start to pay $5,278, and interest repayment $528. So I'm going to highlight both of them, and here we go. All right, so that's very important. Okay, so if you look at this projection, you find out that, look at my closing balance here and look at subsequent closing balance. Hey, my closing balance here on the 30th August is poor. Same thing here, 30th September is poor because fluctuations and I couldn't sell all my goods. You understand? You need to prove that this cash flow projection is real. This is how I believe this cash is managed. So, but things started turning around almost towards the second and the last month of my projection, and that is okay. It's not that bad. So, but the most important thing is, if your lender is looking at, can you be able to repay this loan? And from the cash flow projection, it looks as if, yeah, probably you can be able, but not that much. So you started making much interest towards the end. So now we are going to do some touches on this flow, on this cash flow, so that we can see how we can better the cash flow projection. Now we find out that our expenses looks very high. So but now we are supposed to be increasing our revenue. All right, so looking at this place, I am going to be making 155, 167. All right, yeah, it's okay. Okay, so now let us consider these orders, assuming probably on the 30th of March next year you decided, I need a van to convey or supply goods to my clients. So let's just add it up here. Probably let's say $7,000, and you see it has affected your cash flow, but still your closing balance for the end of the 1 year is still favorable. So it's a proof that if I acquire an asset, it will not disturb my cash flow. So I would just want you to study around, be realistic when you are projecting for cash flow. Don't copy exactly what I do. Study around cash flow, and so that you can be able to apply same thing in your organization, in your business. Not only getting seeking for loan or grants or any other thing, but it's a proof that with this guideline I can manage my cash. This is my projection, this is my expectation. If things beginning not to turn out well, I can see where it is. Maybe I have too much staffs that I need to lay some off, or I need to employ some staff, or in my operational cost. So don't forget what I said in administrative operational cost. You need to right click and indicate why you are spending this money. So on rent, utilities, it's very important, and all the rest. Alright, so So that is it. I believe you find this piece of information very useful, and do me a favor, subscribe to my YouTube channel and have a wonderful time. Thank you so much.